I am live on YouTube, and it is yet another week gone by, guys. Hello, hello. Let's put the link down below to my virtual event. Everything's a bit slow this afternoon. Must be 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. I'm just going to, while I'm waiting for you all to jump on, and things are going nuts. Come on, see, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to put the link for you all to go and register for next week's virtual gold conference. It's going to be an absolute cracker. And welcome, everybody. Hope everyone's well. It has been a wild ride of a week. Let me tell you, everything is happening. Everything is not happening. There is still a penal colony, formerly known as Australia. That would be where we're living. And if you think you're going to be going overseas soon, I'd say think again. Certainly not to the States, especially not to India. Poor old India seems to be suffering quite a lot. If you jumped on, just put a comment into the live chat. Don't forget to punch the subscribe button and the like button, because you know those Google algorithms, they like lots of likes, and then I can reach more people and give you more information. Hey, David Field, as always, you're the best, always first on, and I so appreciate that. Now, lots to talk about today. First of all, let's just get stuck in. Next Thursday, we'll have the virtual gold conference. If you haven't already subscribed to that, do yourself a favor. Grant Williams is an absolute bloody legend. I am so excited that he's going to be on board. I have got so much value for you. I've got mining companies that I'm telling you they're going to do very well. So you need to get educated and be resourceful by going and jumping on, clicking the button. It costs you nothing. It is free. So there we go. And then later in the year, in October 21st and 22nd, we're going to be doing a face-to-face. I'm so excited. We're going to do a face-to-face conference at the Sofitel. So tickets for that are actually already on sale. I've got a super early bird price, and I'm telling you, I am not going to keep that price up for long. It is, I think it's either $99 or $199. It's cheap. Why? Because I love giving you guys value. Now, let's get stuck into a few prices out there at the moment, and I'll tell you what I think is happening. First of all, the gold price. The gold price is still, and the silver price, still sitting around that 1780, 1785. It's actually a little bit down today in US and Aussie dollar terms. So is the silver price. The silver price is down about 0.3% in Australian dollars and about 1.5% in the US dollars. So US dollars about $26, and in Australian dollars about $32, $33. That's the silver price. So that's still, in my opinion, a bit range bound. There's lots of talk about lack of silver supply. I don't buy into that equation. I think the silver price may take a little bit of a run up later in the year, but I think it's going to be post-June, and I'll tell you why I think that is in a moment. The gold price, same thing. Gold price 1780. It briefly hit 1800 US, but it's pulled back a little bit. And I believe the reason for that is that everybody is feeling very, very comfortable at the moment. They're feeling very happy with what's going on in the world. There is lots of stimmy checks going out there. The US government is printing like there's no tomorrow. So we are awash with dollars. Hence the reason for the stock market is on a tear, not just here in Australia. It's on a tear in the US. Prices have never been so high. This is what I would call a bubble up opportunity, but it is also a bubble up. Be careful. Just be careful. I'll tell you why. I think, and I could be wrong, and possibly some of you out there will say that I'm completely crazy, I think that we could be in for a very challenging second half of this year, because right now everybody feels that life is pretty good again. There's lots of money. There's lots of spending to be done. And I think you've just got to be careful as to what you do. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Make sure you hedge and diversify. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. For example, if you had bought Bitcoin, if you decided that the cryptocurrency craze was for you, and you'd bought at the recent high, which was about 82,000 US dollars, you would be crying into your cornflakes today. You would be saying, I'm not going to be putting full cream milk on anymore. I'm going to be putting skim milk on, skinny milk. Why? Because it's heading to, right now, it's 64,000 US. I think it could get down to as low as 50. Now, if Bitcoin gets down to about the 45, 50,000 mark, I'm going to be backing up the truck and I'm going to be buying a little bit more Bitcoin. But that's me. I'm a risk taker. Lots of people aren't risk takers. Lots of people just turn around and say, you know what? I'm going to keep my money, my funny money, in the bank because I feel it's safer in the bank. Right now, we have more savings, not just here in Australia. There are more savings around the world in banks. The banks are awash with people saving money. But I think the biggest risk at the moment for all of us is the I word, and that is not iPhone or iPad. That is inflation. Now, lots of people are talking about the fact, no, we're not going to have inflation for ages. Interest rates are going to be staying low. What are the signs? What are the signs that inflation is coming? What you've got to have a look at, is it below 50 at the moment? Is it, I must be looking at the Aussie dollar price. Well, yes, I am, David. I am looking at the Aussie dollar price. Let's have a look. I was talking Aussie. You're absolutely right, David. Sorry, I was talking Australian dollars. US dollars, Bitcoin is 49. Okay, you are absolutely right. Thanks for pointing that out, David. My bad. Not a bad time to buy. I might be backing up the truck. Anyway, with inflation, here's just this is a thought that I've got. Just a thought. I think that we are in the second half of this year. I think inflation's already here. You've just got to have a look at some of the prices of lumber, price of copper, price of oil, price of real estate, price of hard assets, all going up massively. What will government start to do? We are going to see, I believe, we are all going to see increases in taxes. We are going to see increases in prices, increases in taxes, and increase in inflation coming. So what are you going to do to protect yourself? Well, I think in a highly inflationary market, you wouldn't be dumb and it wouldn't be too foolish to take a little bit of your funny money, perhaps. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I am not an accountant, and I am certainly not a financial advisor. These are just points to ponder on my weekly Friday. And there are people, I'm going to be asking Grant Williams a lot of these questions next Thursday on our virtual gold conference. So I hope if you've got questions, by the way, that you want me to ask any of these speakers, first of all, register. Second of all, send me an email. You can send it to info@symposium.net.au. Send me your questions and I will endeavor to make sure I ask them of our speakers. And if you do register for the virtual gold conference, we'll also give the first 500. And by the way, we've got more than 500 registered, but the first 500 can come into the Zoom networking room at the end of the conference. That's 5:30 to 6:30, where you can literally put your hand up and ask a question. And I'm going to tell you all right now, I want all of you to ask questions to how do we get smarter in this world? There are no dumb questions. Ask the questions so that you can get better educated. Because I'm feeling like this is very bubbly at the moment. And I'm feeling like everybody's saying that, oh, everything's going to go up. There's a fear of missing out in the real estate market. You know, do you want to stick $2.5 million and have it sitting in a house that you hope will increase in value over time? Well, it might increase in value over time if you hold it for 10 to 20 years. But if you're hoping to make a quick buck by flipping, I don't know, just feels a little bit bubbly to me. What do you guys think? David, what do you think? You're always good at giving me some feedback. Anyway, so that's what I thought I'd talk to you about today. I did have some other bits and pieces that I wanted to talk to you about, but as always, it's been a crazy, crazy week. I'm moving house next week. I am doing the virtual gold conference on Thursday. The removal guys come in on Friday. I have a knee operation the following Monday. And then, hey, Mona's in. Yay, yay, yay. And then I'm traveling up to the Gold Coast. So it's a crazy busy time for me right now. And actually, now that Mona's on board, she's a friend of mine, and she came and stayed with me for a couple of nights. This is hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know TikTok, now I dismissed TikTok as why would I want to do a stupid video on yet another platform? But Mona was showing me the numbers of people that watch things about, for example, gold in the tens of thousands, if not millions. So Mona, you know what? I am going to get to understand TikTok, but I don't know about any of you guys out there. There are so many platforms. The last thing that and it's really hard for me to keep up with all of it. I'm doing my best, but I will give you a YouTube live once a week on a Friday, no matter what I'm doing. Even if I'm sitting on the floor with no furniture next Friday, I will still do my YouTube live. There was one other thing I was going to say. I'm going to finish off with this. It is so important, ladies and gentlemen, in today's world that we do not lose the ability to debate. We do not lose the ability, just because if you're a Trump supporter and I'm a Biden supporter, that's fine. Have the conversation about it. I think that once you lose the ability to debate, once you lose the ability to have free speech, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just not sure I want to have a vaccine. Now, don't hate me for that. It's my body and it's my opinion. I get that there's a lot of fear out there, but I also don't like the fact that if you say something that the fact checkers don't like, they boot you off. They boot you off social media. They boot you off having an opinion on any of these platforms. So I have to be really careful about some of the things that I say, because I don't want to be booted off. But one of the things I'm very cautious of, ladies and gentlemen, is freedom and democracy are really, really important. Make sure that you that you stand up for what is rightfully yours, which is the right of free speech and the right to have your opinion. And if other people don't like your opinion, that's okay. Be kind to them. Don't get angry. It's their opinion. We live in a world. We live in a democracy. Please fight for freedom. Fight for free speech, because without that, what sort of world are we living in? Not one that I think is very, very kind to any of us. Anyway, that's my Friday musings and my points to ponder for today. I hope my thoughts on world economy. Well, I better not stop until my thoughts, your thoughts as well on the world economy, David, or are you typing and you're going to tell me your thoughts on the world economy? If it's a very long one, David, I don't mind hanging around for a little bit longer, because this has been a short one today. Normally I'm a 20-minute-er, aren't I? But if you're honestly bloody scary. Yeah, I agree, David. It really is scary at the moment. And I think that's why I really want to impress on everybody that listens to my weekly program. You have the right to free speech. And if somebody says something and you don't agree with it, be respectful. It's their opinion. We must remain respectful, and we must remain very vigilant on the right of free speech. And many of these social platforms are stopping some people's ability to have free speech. And I think that, as David rightly said, is bloody scary. Let's stand up for what we feel is right. But let me tell you right now, my view, second half of this year, you are going to see inflation creeping in, and that will mean higher prices, not just at the grocery store. It will mean higher prices with electricity, we've had a scare already with the pandemic. What we've got right now is we've got supply logistics channels being interrupted. We are going to see higher prices in the future. We are going to see higher taxes. Make sure that you protect your wealth and at the same time look at ways to grow it. Next week, I promise you, I'm going to come back with one of the companies to watch. For now, I'm watching a hydrogen play. It's called QEM. It's had a bit of a run up. It's pulling back a little bit at the moment. I'll tell you a little bit more about that next week. And I'm going to give you 3 stocks to watch next week, but without any financial advice. Do your own research. And as I always say, be resourceful, stay educated, and stop watching Netflix, because it doesn't help you to grow your wealth. That's it for me, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, share this with as many people as you can. And I'll see you all next Thursday for the Virtual Gold Conference. And then I'll be back on Friday. We'll have a chat then. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome weekend.